Hey Soul Fam, so I'm in the talks with people about petitioning to be paid $1 billion per day since slave owners know they have all that money sitting, but they don't want organizations to pay humanoids that much on planet Earth. And one of my soul fam was literally saying, yeah, we just replaceable. The quicker they got us in is how they will have everything in their power to get us out of here so they won't have to pay us back our wages. And our health is more important than a job. If we fall on our asses, they not going to give a fuck. They rarely want to pay humanoids to do overtime at a 9 to 5 corporation, and they just want the humanoids to work those long hours without getting paid $1 billion, man. It's very sad, and that's wild how they do it. And of course, we humanoids on planet Earth have managed to live by just getting paid $20 or less an hour for many centuries since slave owners control how much we get paid. But in the era of money value, non-professional people supposed to be paid very huge, like these famous influencers who made $1 trillion+ and even these famous celebs, famous athletes, famous presidents, famous governments that pay these trillions of dollars. They have to pay these trillions of dollars back to the draconian men in black slave owners. And still, even when these famous folks, like I just listed, even when they paid those $1 trillion back, they still have more money. They still literally have more money than the 9 to 5 humanoid citizens on planet Earth, and that is very cruel. And the slave owners, they banned birth certificates and social security ID to not be in no use to take care of anything anymore. And they passed the law on credit cards and money to be only way to get things taken care of. Because your security ID, what's the point of having a birth certificate and a social security ID and our identity doesn't really take care of anything? It's like you having a birth certificate, an ID to verify that you are who you are. All these IDs to validate who you are, just to be able to do things. But still, it ain't like you can go to a vehicle place or go to a grocery store and be like, here's my birth certificate, here's my social security ID to verify that I am who I am. And you can't even get nothing with it. They just gonna be like, well, if you ain't got no money, you can't get this food, you can't get this vehicle. That is slavery. So the slave owner just saying your birth certificate and your social security ID don't even matter. Heck, even your ID license don't matter because you can't get nothing with it at all. You can't order anything online with your social security ID. You just can't. And let me tell you, in these professional athletes and celebs, these professional athletes and celebs get paid over trillions of dollars, even though they pay those trillions back due to slave owners' blood sacrificing contracts. And these famous professional athletes that's born, all these famous people that's born in a slave owner lineage, where they be Masons or fraternity folks, Eastern Star people, all these famous people that's of the slave owner lineage, they still be earning way more than the 9 to 5 citizens earn. And this is very crazy. It's sadly funny to me how slave owners have 9 to 5 companies only pay little of 20 to less dollars an hour to these humanoids that ring up over billion+ customers every day for just $20 or less at a slave owner corporation. But those who are born into a slave owner lineage, like professional celebs, governments, presidents, and athletes, and masons, and fraternity people, and etc., get paid trillions is beyond me. But I'm glad the evil stinginess is being exposed to the light by us soul beings that are seeing, and it shall hit the fan soon on planet Earth. Thing is, whenever humanoid citizens ready to step up, man. Because let me tell you something. If I as a person is ringing up over 1 billion customers every day at a 9 to 5 organization, I better be paid billions of dollars like these damn professional presidents and governments and athletes and masons and celebs. If I'm not getting paid no Freemasonry money, no fraternity money, no government money, and I'm ringing up 1 billion people, 1 billion customers every day at a 9 to 5 corporation, I'll be very upset and I would have a complaint, because that's slavery to only get paid $20 or less when we have all these high ass bills to pay. But these slave owners, they don't care about their citizens. And Kim Kardashian, your ass is next too. Your ass is next to get exposed anyways. I got another video coming for you. But thing is, man, whatever humanoid citizens ready to step up and fight against the little pay cruelty that we non-slave owner lineage people should be getting, what these slave owner people gets, I'll be ready to rally up the soul troops that's tired of the 9 to 5 barely making it cruelty that slave owners intentionally do to laugh at soul beings faces. And independent businesses that soul beings come up with have it way worse. They have it worse, with lack of customers to support soulful businesses that take away from the slave owner matrix too. Because slave owners, they don't want these humanoid citizens having independent businesses that take away from the slave owner matrix. It's very freaking sad. It's very, very sad, man. And look, man, if I was to tell this type of information to a lot of these religious people, the religious people will look at me crazy for calling out how it's slavery, how at a 9 to 5 that you don't get paid as much as these famous people. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you, you religious folks, something. How come your Jehovah or your Lord Jashin or your Lord Jesus has not made you financially rich? Why is you still, or better yet, how come your Lord Jesus and Lord Jehovah or whatever Lord that you worship has not ended these slave owners that made a lot of humanoid citizens stress on bills, and have these humanoid citizens always get their homes taken away from them? But your Lord Jesus and your Lord Jehovah's had not stopped that. But that's none of my business though. And let me tell you something. Me telling this information that I just told you all on this video topic is like telling religious folks. It's like telling religious folks that the religious folks are like deers. The religious folks are deers, and I'll have a bunch of chicken wings, and I could show deers a bunch of chicken wings, but I can't make the deers eat the chicken wings that I cooked. You feel what I'm saying? Because you tell religious folks or people that just fit in the matrix, they don't question anything, they just conform to the slave owners, and you tell them this type of information that I just told you that you all are reading on this screen, they'll look at it, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna take heed and actually stand up with me. You know, I could show them this information, but I can't make them take heed to the information and take it serious to actually petition against these slave owners and actually be paid billions of dollars so humanoid citizens could live comfortably, or better yet, just put an end to this whole damn matrix. And better yet, we just get rid of all these birth certificates and social security IDs, since none of this stuff really has no value. These slave owners already said our birth certificates and social security ID or any ID has no value, since you can't go to the grocery store and get nothing, or go to a vehicle spot or go to an electronic spot or any type of store and get anything with your identity, because your identity doesn't matter to the slave owners. So these slave owners would be playing these humanoids with. They be playing humanoids like some fucking fiddle, man. They play us like a joke. So we gotta show these damn slave owners, these draconian, narcissistic, sociopath, psychopath slave owners, that their evil is now their evil is now due for erasure. We gotta show them that, man. How many times I gotta say this?